Okay, so here's what we're going to do with this activity. In front of you, you have an index card. Right now, what you're going to do is you're going to write down one problem that exists with group work, that you have run into with group work. So I'll give you a minute to do that, and then I'll tell you the next set of instructions. So one problem, do not put your name on the card, but make sure you write legibly because other people will be reading your card. So you have to write enough so someone else understands. All right, is everyone pretty much finished writing down at least one problem? All righty, so here's what's going to happen next. This is where the chaos begins. Do not move until I say move, okay? And it's very important that you listen to the instructions so everyone knows what's happening. You're going to take your index card, and you're going to stand up when I tell you, not yet, but when I say go, you're going to stand up. And you're going to exchange index cards until I yell, stop! When I say stop, you freeze. Remember like freeze tag when you were a kid? You freeze. And you find the person closest to you. Okay? It could have been the person you last exchanged cards with, but if they're halfway around, across the room already, whoever's near you. You only want to be in a group of 2. If you need to tuck someone else in, a group of 3, that's okay, but no more than that. 2 to 3 of you are going to get together. What's going to happen is you'll be standing up somewhere around the room, and you will be having 3 cards, 2 to 3 cards in front of you. You're going to look at the problems on there. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to discuss the problems and identify what you might do to fix that problem, so a possible solution. So what we're going to get started focused on today is solutions to the problems that you have. I'm certainly going to share with you my background and knowledge from reading the literature and all, but I want you to start thinking about, you already know some of the things that work. So what you'll do is you'll stop, you'll talk about it for about 2 minutes, then I'll say stop again. Everyone freeze, like it's freeze tag, and then I'll say go. You'll pass papers again, and you'll end up partnering up with somebody else with a different card. Okay? Questions on the process?
Yes.
Yes.
When we come up with an idea, a solution, do we write it on the card? Or do we don't write anything else?
You don't have to write the solution on the card because we don't have enough time for that. You could, if you're doing this in class, you could have them do it that way and then compare all the solutions together because I don't want to spend an enormous amount of time. We won't do it that way. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
Are we leaving tables?
Yes.
So we're going into
Yeah, in fact,
room at large.
That's right, room at large. In fact, your first pass cannot be with somebody at your table. Okay? All right. On your mark. Get set, go. Get up and pass papers. Okay, stop. Stop. Find somebody near you. Does anybody raise your hand if you need a partner? Everybody's got a partner? All right, go. Talk about the issues and possible solutions. You guys are good. That was really fast. All right, stop. Now you're going to pass papers again. And when I say stop, you'll end up hopefully with somebody new and new cards. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, so let me just do a quick timeout for process. What I had to engage in wasn't really group work, but it was a brief active learning opportunity. You could turn that into group work by then if I went to the next stage and I had to go back to your table now and then further talk about it. But what I want to do is I don't want to do that right now. I wanted to let you know that that's a great quick strategy. I mean, it took about 5 to 7 minutes, I guess, for the whole exercise. And you got students up, moving, actively engaged in terms of cognitive engagement, thinking about different strategies. There's lots of different ways you could use that in your classroom. A great way is, at the end of class, what's one thing you learned? It's a good quick recap or summary, or at the beginning of class to kind of dust off the cobwebs. What did you learn from class last week? So there's a lot of great ways you can do that. Use that exercise in your class. I wanted to model that for you as well as talk about the group work issues. So I'm going to ask us not to report out on what you talked about in your, in your little partner, exercise, but instead I want you to just kind of think about that, reflect on that as we go through the rest of the content.